keep talking about your freestyle influences into bringing you to pop music because you.
Well, let me finish up the bass.
Sure, sure, sure.
We also, we met Laz at that time when Laz was working at Hot 105.
Right.
He was just a DJ. He brought, I don't know how the hell we met him, but he came to the studio with Mami Negro, and we kind of like reworked it with him, and that was a huge record, of course. From there, I met Breezy. Breezy was doing his thing, and we ended up signing Breezy to like a single deal, or we did a couple records.
It's known in the streets now that Breezy is like a prototype. He was like an experimental kind of Pitbull story, huh? Being
Kind
Latino
yeah,
and
kind of.
being
You know why?
Miami.
Because at least Breezy at this time, when we took him on, it was kind of like he was trying to venture out because Breezy's very creative. He's a
Yes,
very creative
yes.
soul. So he started like after he had his records, he started going. The record we did with him was No Good Unless They Love You. I can't wait. Yeah, it was just a little offbeat. It was different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like that's what turned us on about getting involved with Breezy
Yes.
because it was something else other than just being straight. Shake that ass, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It was just different.
Awesome. Any other groups that you worked in the bass stuff like you were mentioning the Two Life Crew?
No, I never really worked with them, but
Were they an influence?
yeah, huge influence. I mean, I think they pretty much set the precedence for Miami bass. I think.
Let's go into a little bit technical.
Uh huh.
Um, Drum machines.
Yes.
Um, you're a programmer.
Yes.
What drum machines were you using at the time?
Well, I started on the SP 1200. Um, Never really messed with the 808 or the 909. It was pretty much my setup was the SP 1200 and a keyboard, and then we used the MIDI and synthed it up with the tape. And then from there it became, I think when the Chord came out, it was kind of like a game changer because now um, the SP 12 was the hot machine, and the MPC came out, the
Yes.
MPC one, and now it was like you had more sample and better sample rate. It was just kind of like from there on, it's now we're in Pro Tools and Fruit Loops and
Prior to that, you were explaining to me about the tapes.
right,
How you guys had to cut them.
right.
Can
Wow,
you
that's
explain a
right.
little bit about that? And you
Whew.
were explaining to me about how you guys saw the program Pro Tools and
Right.
how it worked. Can we go
Well,
into that a little bit?
for people that don't know, nowadays everybody has a form of a recording program which is digital with a computer. Back in the day, the way we used to do it, the only thing available was a half-inch tape, which is a half-inch thick, and you had 8 tracks, meaning like 8 tracks to do the whole record. Now, the thing was the way we had more tracks available to us was there's a time code that the drum machine would drop would be called SMPTE, and it sounds like remember when internet was dial up that right? So you would track on the 8 track that time code, and then you had 7 tracks of pretty much vocals. So you'd have to rewind, push play. The drum machine would read the SMPTE, which would sync the drum machine to the tape, and you'd lay out, let's say the kick, snare, blah 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 blah. So that never really got recorded, but it would be synced up with the vocals. So you really had like really 7 tracks to do vocals on. From there, it went into a 1 inch tape when we had 16 tracks. So really 15 with this empty. And then it became a 2 inch tape where we had 24 tracks. And that everybody was like, in the industry was like, wow, like 2 inches, like 24 tracks, this is amazing, right? And now, mind you, everybody nowadays, all right, we'll lay a hook, harmonies, the whole deal. And now you just go copy and paste. Back then, you'd have to re-sing every harmony, every hook, everything throughout the whole record. There was no copy and pasting. And I know that's probably blowing some people's minds, but that just is what it is. So then, after the 2 inch, they figured out a way to sync up 2 2 inch machines. So now you had 48 tracks. So now we're all sitting there as engineers and producers and programmers, like, wow, we have so many tracks to our disposal. So that changed a lot right there because now you're really able to develop your production a little further and actually deliver what you really want to deliver on a record because now you have more space. So from there, I was getting married. I think I was 22, 23. I was getting married and I was having a kid. So I was like, look, man, at that time I wasn't really um, making enough money off the music industry for me to be like, okay, I can afford, you know, to feed my kid and my wife. So I was like, I need to get a job. Got a job at Ace Music off of Biscayne. Um, One day I was sitting there because I used to run the recording department. I was sitting there and I remember the manager saying, "Yo, I got this guy from Digi Design. He's gonna show us some new software. Blah blah blah." This is before the store opens. You show up an hour early. Blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. This guy shows up. He's like, yo, I got this software called Pro Tools. Da 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 da. Blah blah. I'm like, all right, cool, man. He's like, yo, it's all computer based recording. I'm like, but everybody is still to this day screaming that tape is warm and all this, whatever. So I sit down, I'm watching him, and he's like, yeah, so you can copy and paste. And I was like, what? Copy and paste? Like, to me, that was everything. Just the whole copy and pasting part. Not even to mention how good the sound quality was. But that right there, I think, just revolution. I remember calling my brother on the phone on the side going, yo, Lou, you got to see this. He's like, what? You can copy and paste? He drove straight down to where I was working. It was like, what? It's pretty crazy.
From there on.
Yeah, now look at where we're at now. I mean, it's crazy.
Awesome.
Everything's digital. I love it, though, by the way.